shout at all for Rooster here. I don't think that there's a map in this pool where they're not going to be too competitive or they're going to feel a little bit perturbed by it. It looks like a really, really solid map pool for them. My concern or my question is less about what Rooster's going to look like on each of these maps, but just more so, what are they going to look like in general? Because I think lately, Rooster have definitely not been cutting the mustard to their expectations. They haven't been as good as they would have hoped to have been.
Yeah.
And this could be a bit of a return to form, right? A good run here in the ESL Challenger playoffs. This should be their tournament, right? You know, it's a different story to the MRQ. You go into the MRQ, you're facing some far better teams than what they're facing here. But in this one, they're the big dog, essentially. So if they can make sure that they just lock this in, get themselves a solid win here in ESL Challenger League Season 49, we're going to start to say, okay, you look, Rooster, they didn't fall off too hard. And that will begin today as they kick things off on the CT side of Dust2. Housebets are not messing around too much on this pistol. Damyo going to pick up Chelios really early on in the piece, and now it's on to ASAP to try to do some work. He'll get some good damage done with those dualies, but not enough to keep the numbers even.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to crack their way into the site. So far, so good. TJP standing in the way, but Housebets deciding to double back and have a sniff towards mid. Danny G may be caught in a bit of an odd position, but he will scale away. Nade towards the corner, or flash even. And he's going to be that solo player on the B side of things. Slimy needs to get a wriggle on if he wants to work on the flank, but 3 out uppers, and Danny trying to hold. That's not gone well. That's not gone well.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Me more than anybody, to be fair, but he won't be wanting to relive that one, particularly because Apoc Dad was so low. You know, even a couple of body shots would have gotten that one done. But in the end, pretty solid pistol round for Housebets. Can't be mad about that one at all. So Rooster not off to the start here in this season of Challenger League playoffs that they really would have hoped for. All
right, what do we have from Rooster here? HE, a smoke investment, P2K even for Chelios, rocking the off-meta weapon. And with that smoke to deny vision on the cross, they're just going to send it for a full-on B stack. Nice nade in the long doors. PZ copping the full force of that shrapnel. But Housebets seem mostly unfazed. 2-man setup, Damyo on the point, and Vision. Oh, love a little spray down to find 3.
Yeah, Vision I've seen do pretty well on Dust2. When we first got to watch Housebets play with Vision, it was actually an incredibly painful game because he was having a lot of internet issues. He would connect for like 1 round, play the round out, or disconnect 3/4 of the way through the round, and then we'd have like a 5-10 minute tech pause to try to get Vision back. And that happened like 3 or 4 times before they ultimately decided we can't play with Vision anymore because he's just not able to play the game. But in those rounds, it was Dust2. He was doing pretty well. So maybe we'll see that again here. Maybe Dust2 is a Vision's map. First buy though coming through from Rooster, so that could change things up a bit.
He's pretty well versed on it after what we saw from him yesterday. Solid pickup for Housebets after getting some pretty, solid international experience. Couple of boot camps, even though not with Housebets, did get to go overseas and play a lot of EU pugs, EU scrims, and get himself ready for a solid year in 2025. And Damyo, no holds barred, straight up the guts, all the way out mid. And with that B ramp player falling, they know it's just Danny G solo on B. So is he going to get targeted again? And will he be spotted? Just that smoke on the exit of upper tunnels. And the MAC-10 going to be able to tear through the defense. Rooster already looking to save.
Yeah, it's rough, isn't it? Nothing really going right for Rooster so far today. And Housebets bringing a much faster style than what we saw yesterday. So changing things up. Maybe that's caught Rooster off guard a little bit as well. Having said that, 3-gun save through here for Rooster is going to give them enough to kind of jostle in the next round. Do have Drox going to have a little bit of a look, see if he can hunt maybe 1 or 2 of these guns down. Rough angle for him. So Slimy will get it done. And you don't want to be losing any more guns here if you're Housebets, so we probably won't see much of an investment in the hunt anymore.
All right, enough weapons saved that Rooster will have another full buy. Round loss bonus coming into effect as well. And of course, I think there was an AK carried across. So that kind of stopping power in the hands of Slimy, I believe, should go a long damn way, or at least on paper. Housebets, though, straight out of the gates, feeling incredibly confident today. You got to remember, they got slammed on map 1 yesterday in the upper bracket final, or semi, or whatever it is. Round 1. How you feeling today, Jordan? You ready for a good game?
I am ready for a good game.
Yeah.
So far, I'm not sure we're getting it, but I am ready for it. If not here, maybe even in the Asia match, although Chinggis Warriors versus -72C seems like it could be a little chaotic. I have higher hopes for this series, frankly. I mean, it's been decent from Housebets so far. They're kind of upholding their end of the bargain. Generally a very solid Dust2 team.
Yeah.
Rooster, I feel like haven't really come online yet. So just kind of waiting for that to happen, which we may be waiting for a while. If they lose this round, they're going to have to go back for another save, and half's going to start to blow out for Housebets, and yeah, may not be until like even map number 2 that Rooster really do start to lock in. They are one of these kinds of teams that can be a bit wishy-washy.
And look, to be fair, Rooster have had it a little bit hard since losing Nedic. You know, they were trying to figure it out initially when he went to Talon, but look, he was pumping the numbers yesterday against FaZe. Needs to be said. Nice attempt over in Blast, but here back domestically, at the moment at least, Rooster seem to be missing that firepower and missing a couple of other shots. Slimy, however, going to be able to chime in. Long control is certainly in their favor, and some of the numbers, but not for long, with shots like that coming through from damyo and Vision. Only 1 member remaining at long, and 2 already making their way through CT. So it's just a matter of how they want to approach the retake and if they can convert.
Oh, retaking from CT, never going to be easy. Slimy is the one with the util, but he's down on long. So it's going to be tough for him to use it. Does get the smoke in. And the instant up onto the site as well. But time really running down here for Rooster. They've got to be quick about it. Really desperate for a kill somewhere here. ASAP will turn from the flash. Danny G with the MP9 goes flying through. Gets himself a kill, and the rest is going to be cleaned up by the riflers. And somehow Rooster have made that one look extremely clean.
Watch it again. Lovely flash, but it just didn't work out in Housebets' favor. It's like the flash itself just popped that millisecond too late. But yeah, good for Rooster. Let's see what they can do moving forward here. 3-2 split again. And Housebets bringing the bomb towards upper dark. Not with a whole lot of money in the kitty, but they're just going to go for the Exy and see if they can get past Danny G again. Danny able to find 1 here. Stuck at Heaton. Swings wide, but drops at the ready. And now with Danny G going down. Rooster thinking about maybe going for a flood. Bomb getting planted. Everyone can establish the post-plant positions. But that pick on a damyo, ooh, that is intriguing.
That is intriguing indeed. It's got Rooster enticed. They are keen for it now. A 4v3 retake. Much more doable than the 4v4. And there's no delaying util at all. In fact, no util for Housebets in general. Not even a single flashbang to try and set someone up. They're just going to have to rely on their aim. And so far, that's working out. PZ with the headshot onto TJP. 2 players coming through from upper tunnels, not having any success at all. And Slimy, between a rock and a hard place here, does what he can. Decent damage onto PZ, but it was never going to be a winnable duel for him. So Housebets are able to hold on to the B-bomb site, even with the numbers deficit. 4-1 is the scoreline. They are starting to really put that pressure on Rooster.
Oh, and here it is again. Oh, that was actually damyo. Bit of team damage. Couldn't quite see that in the kill feed because old mate Danny G was quite blind, stuck at the big box. But where are we going now? There's a nice little long spawn here for Apoctide if he wants to take it. Tactical there. They're just having a quick chit-chat, and someone can drop him a rifle so he can get the extra util if he wants. But sometimes when you're going out first, you might not want that. So yeah. He's going to be tossed across an AK-47, get full util. And with where they're all facing, maybe it's just going to be a bit of a default. Oh. Cheeky 180. And for the Rooster side of things as well, they were the one that called the tactical. So you remember back, what was it, probably a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, Rooster just didn't call tacticals. And when they did, it was kind of just a troll thing. But they have a coach now, and that's kind of sick.
Yeah. Well, they did indeed decide to utilize that long spawn. Apocdud and Damyo both getting out. They take long control, but that's about it. Wall of smokes up there from Rooster, keeping them from progressing any further up long.
Yeah. Ooh, Sap at this range, though.
Ooh, Sap.
He could be in a winning position for sure. Housebets, though, doing what worked before. Danny G, he is in a great position for the MP9. You know, nice and close. As long as he can dodge those bangers, get in front of the smoke that he's thrown. Yeah, this is a risky maneuver, but one that can definitely give him an incredibly high amount of reward, especially if Housebets just funnel on that wall. In comes the util, in comes the pop, and a fast flank from ASAP will activate in just a moment.
Progression smoke out for Housebets, but Danny G can also play around or even inside of that. Oh, that's not what you want to be seeing when you go charging through the smoke.
Zap.
Slimy and ASAP, though, fast on the flank, and that was unexpected from Housebets. That 5-7 ringing true for a double. The B-side hold, well, it kind of failed, but the rotation was so fast. And Rooster in with a good shot of winning this round, bringing it back a round sooner than they might have anticipated. Apocdud wants to take some fights. He'll get one against ASAP, but that 5-7 for a third, and TJP through with a deagle. Rooster have swindled a round away from Housebets.
And in a solid fashion as well. Solid activation from ASAP through tunnels. And yeah, that 2K certainly drawing a lot of attention away and just making it, you know, a bit of a disruptive play, forcing Housebets to feel uncomfortable. At least with that bomb plant and the money that they had, they will be able to buy again here. Although it may be just a buy down to 2K. Okay, they're thinking about the future. Hedging their bets. Seeing if Drox and PZ will be able to find some impact with these rifles. And of course, they can be recycled if needed. I thought that crouch peek would have been nice, but Chell, that much nicer. Posted, ready for the slow swing crouch peek. And there goes rifle number one. Still here for Drox, who's going to have the body of Damyo to come out behind, but he wants to go for the trade, and he's not ready for Chell. Again, repositioned a car. Vision, no armor, and an AK in hand. I thought he might have, you know, with Pika's advantage, had an opportunity, but Chell is just feeling it. 3 big picks here just to shred Housebets to pieces.
Yeah, and hopefully this is where Rooster do actually manage to start getting rolling. And last round has kind of fired them up a little bit, and this one established some real control of the economy. 5 guns alive. Money's looking fantastic on that CT side now, and that should free them up a little bit. Chell as well, like you said, with the AWP in hand. It's always good to see him kind of coming online. And it's not too late in the half to have a fairly solid first half here, actually, if you're Rooster. Danny G, clean kill onto Apocdud. So 4-3. Housebets are the ones that are on the receiving end of an economic deficit. So Rooster have a real chance of building this half into something great.
Nice early doors smoke coming through. PZ gazing across the top there. Just with the scout. Looking to punish any over-aggression. TJP. Good timing on the HE. No value taken out of that one, though. Housebets are able to dodge. And they're just going to progress up behind the Molotov on the corner. Flash in, but TJ will just drop back into CT. And it's looking like it may just be only Chell here to hold. Nice little offline on that A-ramp corner. But how's his strike rate so far? And will it continue? Plenty of util for Housebets just to go for this full execute again. We saw it yesterday. Lovely little waterfall smokes that cover the corner, the Vanguard, as well as all of CT. They're ready and waiting. Molotov won't get the tick it's looking for. Damyo, safe territory. And with no noise happening anywhere else, Rooster, they are very aware that it's about to be this A-pop.
Yeah, everyone's set up nicely. TJP not going to be forced off of his line. That Molly's not going to spread far enough. And Chell there as well. This seems kind of doomed to begin with for Housebets. That util now starting to get layered across, but counter util coming down as well from Rooster is preventing any push forward. Nice counter flash out from Chell. There's just nothing to be done here at all for Housebets. The nade, give him a bit of a tickle on the way out. 9 seconds left here. Housebets have lost the round. There's no doubt about that. They're going to lose another member on the way through there as well. So a bit of a weird round. And both teams, I would say, in some instances have fallen prey to playing a little bit too slow this season. I mean, Rooster have become somewhat notorious for it, but even in the game yesterday, Housebets were playing a very slow style, and that's all well and good, but you can't be letting that kind of situation happen on a regular occurrence.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And the money's just all over the shop from that. Not what you want. You kind of want that stable economy on the T side. It should be a little stronger and a bit easier, but missed opportunities from Chell like that are certainly an opening for Housebets in the round. Something I'm loving from Chell this game, which he used to be incredibly good at, is after showing where the AWP is, he will just completely leave the vicinity. And this time he's repositioned over towards that A site instead. B split. Going to be committed upon with Housebets. Smoke broken, allow TJ to find one there at range, but now it's the B site players that really need to perform.
Yeah, nice work from TJP. Perfectly timed on the smoke break. Gets that info for the team. ASAP set up for success there as well. So while the B site has somewhat been taken by Housebets, they can't do anything with it because the bomb is on the other side of the doors. ASAP is standing on top of it at the moment. The nade going to give damyo even more of a tickle. There's just no way you're getting this bomb back. I mean, damyo cannot show himself for a second. He'll be dead. And Vision stuck behind a smoke. What are you going to do, really?
The answer is just wait. Turtled up. Try to go for the boost across the top. Oh, damyo going second. With health like that, mate, come on. Put your body on the line for the boys. Housebets not able to retrieve the package and not able to retrieve the lead back. Rooster, 5-4. Able just to edge out by a nose. We'll see if that lead can continue to grow. Moving into the 10th. Plenty of cash starting to get worked up. Some very healthy wins, which is great to see from a team that, look, arguably is the top seed coming into this. Flashes there, playing spawns. Long control taken by Rooster, uncontested. And Housebets thinking about mid-control themselves. Jordan, what's your call here? Big Brain IGL, hailing from Queensland, Australia.
Well, I actually kind of like the fact that they've gone for a contact play. TJP going to go down, and now you just have to start thinking about going mid to B. They've dumped about 3,000 smokes into CT spawn there, Mac. I'll tell you what, there's some good coverage on that smoke. Doesn't leave them with a whole lot to get into B here. In fact, they're going to walk through it. That is a pretty wild call. Ooh. Chill on the other side of this with the AWP. I think you'd probably be thinking about a cancel here and going back over toward B while that smoke is still up, but looks like they're still going to try and commit. The trouble is they can't get anywhere. They're not able to get up onto that side. Chell in danger, but luckily he's got teammates there to help him out, and it was a wild one. That was definitely not what I was expecting Housebets to do, and I'm sure that Rooster probably weren't expecting it either, but getting the job done nicely. And you asked whether or not this half can go any further, and I think it definitely can for Rooster. They're looking actually pretty switched on this CT side now.
Yeah. Great attempt. Damyo, red as well. ASAP, good corner clearance. And then that smoke as well in CT, just fading, unfortunately, at the wrong time. Imagine if they had one more and didn't throw bloody two into the one that was already there. Maybe we'd have a different result. I loved the attempt at the boost up to try and catch Chell, but he knew exactly what was going on. There was only one or two different potential dangerous angles he could be peeked from, considering they had full pit control. from, I believe it was Slimy over towards Long. By the way, great flow of the communication on the Rooster side of things, just to deal with a very awkward approach from Housebets towards 8. And a chance to get 8 on the board. That's a pretty big half on the CT side these days.
Yeah, I would say even 6 or 7 is actually quite good for Rooster. So starting to get into pretty dire straits for Housebets. No connection there from PZ with the initial shot. And Rooster are looking to get active in this round. Chell's been set up. PZ could be in an awkward spot here. Oh, jiggle peek. Chell not baited out. Does get a shot through. Nade's going to follow. Won't quite catch up with PZ, but you've got a lot of mid-control here for Rooster. Flashes coming through on both sides. Molly in there as well, but too deep to dislodge TJP. Eventually, he will be overwhelmed. Didn't get the help from his teammates that he needed. In fact, Chell's kind of fighting his own demons at the moment. Does well to get one and is able to back on out. ASAP down low. So once the dust settles, it is a 1-for-1.
Chaotic situation, but navigated through by Housebets for the moment. And just trying to figure out where they want to take this C4. A site looking like it could be quite weak with the double short setup. All eyes on Long and Rooster. They realize Housebets have been going in this direction. This is a dangerous play. Sap down, gets the info, and Danny G falling. Rooster feeling like they had to be the ones to make a move, but spotting a second player at mid. That's either, you know, Slimy or Danny. And if it's Danny, B's open. So we'll see if they're going to be able to put the pieces together. Bomb, however, is committed at Long. Missed opportunity, Chell. You can't miss those, mate. And he doesn't seem to be aware of this player up ramp already. Good cover from Slimy to keep his teammate alive. And now the bomb just a little bit further away.
These rounds are looking really scrambly from Rooster in a lot of senses, but they're getting bailed out of trouble by individuals. There's another from Slimy. 2 big kills, but Chell stuck in no man's land down in CT spawn. There's 9 seconds here to try to get a bomb plant down. If Danny gets this kill, he might have won it. Oh, this is messy, hard. And unfortunately not able to win it. Oh, if he would have cleaned up that spray onto Drox, could have been a completely different story, but in the end, does not get it over the line, and Rooster are now, best case scenario, going to be getting 7 on CT. Housebets give themselves a little bit more room to work with.
Honestly, lovely shots coming out from both sides there. Droxy boy teaming up with Apoc Dud to make it happen. Rooster won't be increasing that lead anymore. Chance for it to be tied at the half in the final round. And Housebets not going with the spawn, but looking like they will be committing to a late A-long pop, given the positions of their members. HE's getting tossed to TJ, so he can go for a smoke break on a timing. And Housebets deciding not to go for that A-long pop.
Well, Slimy's got a lot of space into bedroom.
Yeah.
That already is some nice map control and a clean shot in from Chell. Beating PZ at his own game. This is where Slimy comes into play. They're not expecting someone that far progressed. And so he'll get himself one. Shadow helping out. Rooster with the early information. That brings Chell back across to Long. Again, like you said, he's been mobile. And he is all over the map in this round. In all the right ways. Housebets down to just 2.
Bomb isolated from Vision there too. So Damyo going for a full rotation back towards the B site. Vision seems to be able to get a solid amount of information, and then Rooster as well with the 2-man advantage. Confident on a retake towards the B site if they end up here. No one with eyes on, but Vision in his position may be caught with the re-aggression on short. Bomb not going to be spotted on the cross either, and Vision, he's got his head up. Oh, it's all going to boil down to the timing here.
This is awkward. TJP somehow survives. Vision, that was the round in his hands if he would have hit those shots cleanly. Now it's onto Damyo, a 1v4 required. He started it nicely. Clean kill onto Danny G, but Util getting layered in onto his position, and that molly. Oh, it's not actually going to be enough to dislodge him.
Oh.
ASAP's gone down. 2 players through the doors. Could be awkward, but the swing comes together. And the shots weren't hit. Damyo unable to get it done. 7-5 will be the scoreline. Rooster take the lead in the first half. Seven to 5 in the first half. Rooster, they're doing okay. They're doing okay.
Yeah, they're trucking.
They're trucking along, but job's not yet done. Housebets maybe feeling a little bit scared at the moment because this is their map pick. It is a map that looked really, really good for them yesterday. So you go down on Dust2, chances in the series diminish quite substantially.
What are we expecting from them this half? Molly towards lower, just making sure, you know, that Nuke is dealt with. Flames doing the clearing. And Apox Dud looking like he will be the first point of contact, just playing up here at Fallen. Jiggling on a timing. Not sure if Sap quite spotted him. Having a chat. Well, he'll be seen now. Opts to fall down to safety, but with him on that rotation back, Rooster now thinking, okay, smoke at CT like that. That's kind of a mid to B split smoke, and they're going to be doing just that, although TJ not allowed to drop in.
Yeah, very quick though from Rooster in towards this B bomb site. They're not messing around. Chels hit one with that P250. And they've got two more to find on this bomb site. Damyo stuck in a very awkward position. Pretty unplayable when you've got multiple players looking in your direction. Will go down. And that looks like it will be the pistol for Rooster. But for the fact that the bomb has been left in middle. So that gives a slight little hope to PZ.
Yeah, can't park there, mate.
Unfortunately, can't land his shots. And so it is going to be Rooster to take number 8.
Not a bad attempt from them, though. Could have been a little old swing going down, but didn't quite happen. And alas, we traverse forward. Rooster, happy with that. And Housebets, well, so unhappy that they're going to go for the force buy here. So making sure they get some extra utility out early. 2-1-2 split. Or 2-2-1 split even. Aggressive up short and lowers. Free smoke from Sui. And Rooster just defaulting across the map. But with Drox aggressive through uppers already. Does he step forward or does he just hold on the short line? I like where he is, but oh, that timing. It's been seen, and Danny G now knows that Tunnel's control is in the hands of the CTs.
I don't imagine it will be for long. Bink goes through onto Drox, and he'll fall away. Lucky that he did. There was a grenade to greet him had he not. But Rooster, you'll be seeing a little bit of this tonight, and you might be seeing a little bit of this tomorrow night as well if Rooster make it through from this game. They love a slow round. They love to just take an early little default, slow things down, maybe take a mid-round fight, slow it down again, and hit a bomb site late. That is just every round from Rooster, honestly. So better prepare yourself for it. I'm sure Housebets are aware of that. And now they will take their time to grab a bit of short control.
Straight out mid. Oh, damyo. MP9 at that range, just tearing through him. And it was like the path of maybe least resistance for Rooster, but the resistance was strong from the single bit that was there. AK going to be retrieved. Oh, and the spray from damyo to find himself 4 for the round. Huge hold and definitely a difference maker. No one falling from Housebets with a bunch of free upgrades, mate. You will take that every day of the week.
Yeah, that's lovely from Housebets. I mean, that gets them back into this game. It's an interesting one from Rooster, isn't it? You know, why are you going to slow things down so much if that ultimately is the decision that you're going to end up making, jumping into mid with no info? So, right back to the pistol armor buy for Rooster. Chell looking for a pick on B. He's not going to be given the opportunity here. Housebets not too keen on having a little bit of a look in, so he's going to have to try and make that happen himself. Flash actually smacks Chell in the head. Does enough to throw off of his aim. Damyo's going to survive. Drox up on top of the box. He's chilling. Smokes in. Rooster just have to cede that territory for now.
This is the only problem with that position that Drox is in, right? There's no way to get down silently unless you are incredibly gifted or you have a helping hand. So having damyo come across and take his util, just looking to play the close range. And now it's good because there's progression utility there, but it is progression out mid from Rooster. Chell leading the charge, 2 men behind him. And 1 smoke to go for the mid-B split. So it will be a 5v2 unless Apoc Dud goes through. Damyo in the window, going to be able to get some form of information. TJ an opening, a double even. And just like that, Rooster going to force up and win around themselves, unless.
I don't know if there's an unless here, Mac. Vision and PZ might want to save those guns. Unfortunately for PZ, it's just an MP9. Yeah, it's another tough one for Housebets. The B site hold is looking pretty weak. They're not getting kills. You know, they're not even really getting a single kill, right? Rooster just seem to be able to barrel their way in and find those entries as required.
PZ called that timing almost perfectly. Won't quite be able to get the double. And Vision happy to carry across the AK into the next. Deep into the 16th. Rooster, though, again, similar to the round before, going to be very happy with the force buy working out for them. And now we're in a situation where it may just be forces back and forward until someone's economy breaks and things just go wrong real quick.
You're running out of time here, Housebets, to get in control of this game. You know, you're at this point now, you get double digits on the T side as Rooster, and that economic pressure is just going to be so problematic for Housebets in an attempt to make a comeback. So it kind of has to be now or never. Otherwise, your percentages, your likelihood of coming through with a win here on Dust2 is significantly diminished. Big upper setup from Rooster. But not going to be doing anything with it for now. It's probably a good thing because Housebets have got 3 players stacked on B.
Yeah. Maybe waiting for a tell, or maybe there already is a tell, and Housebets have gone for the gamble since Rooster haven't really contested long at all. And there it is. Drock's going to be cleared. Perfect setup. APOC dud. They aren't expecting him, but they're going to find him anyway. And PZ back on the secondary. Wants to find another Chell for a moment. Forgot about him. But he will be able to win the fight eventually. 2v2 now.
Bomb plants down. Hanging in the balance is this round. damyo with an AWP in hand. Does not get any connection on the Chell. Sun will go back in response. And Chell just dancing around nicely in the site. Gets both the kills that he needs. 10 and 6. And Rooster now have this map squarely on a silver platter. It is 2.4k loss bonus. So Housebets can take a single eco. But they are running out of rounds. And that doesn't seem to be slowing down at all.
Yeah, not bad at all. They had the 3-man crossfire set up, which could have activated. It just didn't quite work out. APOC dud went for the swing, and when he sort of played off everyone else's contact, he got domed straight away. Rooster were very much ready for the stack on B. This time, what changes? Housebets economy finally broken. They're on the USPs, going for the mid stack. I'm looking to punish anyone that creeps their way up cat, I'd say. I thought that was a boost in the smoke, but they're just waiting it out. And Rooster with a full contact in B is a great decision. TJ spotting 4 before falling. So AK retrievable, but Rooster happy with what should be the round.
Yeah, you'd think so. I mean, an AK is, I guess, a small prize. It's a nice win for Housebets, but they desperately need more than that. Danny just dumping all the utility he has potentially in his arsenal at the top of mid there. For some reason, he wants to have a crack with the MP9, it looks like. Oh, it's a MAC-10, I should say. I don't know where MP9s come from. But, yeah, I mean, it's largely unnecessary, really, here for Rooster. I guess you'd like to take the AK away from damyo, but realistically speaking, they're in such a strong position here anyway that the next couple of rounds are going to be pretty straightforward. That's some nice shooting from ASAP. 1 HP Wonder. And it'll be just Vision that survives, but with only a USP in tow. And in fact, may not survive if he wants to keep shouldering around the bedroom doors there. But 11-6 is the scoreline. Rooster have definitely accelerated here in the second half of Dust2, and they are giving Housebets a bit of a pounding now.
Might be in for that first 2-0 here. Every game being close so far, but I guess we'll see what happens once we get to Nuke. If we get to Nuke. Which we definitely will, because it's the second map of the series. Shout out best of threes one time. But yeah, Rooster looking like they are the top seed. They're coming in, and they got a day off yesterday. And this is exactly why. Chelios and Sap both getting paid the big bucks for a reason. Rocking those 2+ KDs. Lowest control is there, but APOC dud. I don't think his noggin was quite spotted. And Sap is lurking with a couple of members towards the top of mid. If they can spot this aggression, Sap could activate. There it is. Line up for him. 3 all found. And the A-site defense torn to shreds.
Yeah, that's bad news. Bad news indeed. damyo, oh, if you could maybe pick one up here in transition. Danny G dumping util. He loves to dump a bit of util, doesn't he? But he's going to get caught at Xbox with the remnants of a smoke in hand. So it's going to end up being a 2-on-2 here. Bomb plant going down. Housebets have smoked themselves off short. It's an interesting strategy. That's going to cost them some time. damyo going to split up. Go over towards long, and he'll lose his life. This round's just gone. It's just disappeared. What's going on? What is with the util in this round?
Sap just looks at it.
He's followed it. He's literally tracked it. It's like he's practicing an aim trainer or something.
I bet he said to Slimy, what have you thrown that for? Bit late, mate. But look, better late than never. And Slimy going to be able to find another of his own.
That may have been the worst util usage I've seen that round. Danny caught an Xbox trying to throw his util when the guys are rushing at him. Okay, fair enough. You can kind of see it, right? Then Housebets smoked themselves off short. And then we get a team flash. Like the most egregious team flash you've ever seen. But it all goes well for Rooster in the end.
Look, to be fair, Danny's initial molly was like kind of fine, right? Because he can get his gun out and fight, but then he's thrown the smoke as well.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Just panic.
And then everything after that was just bloody chaos.
Yeah.
Pure pressure, forcing out the mistakes. And now, speaking of pressure, Sap may just be going straight down mid and fighting it for free, depending on the timing of damyo. Making his way in here. Won't go dry, though. That flash signals the Housebets that there could be something going a little bit awkward in through CT.
Well, damyo. Ooh, and Apoc out able to find themselves a killer piece, so this one ain't over yet.
Yeah.
Rooster faltering at the final hurdle just when it looked like it was pretty much free and done. Like an awkward force fight. There's barely any util at all for Housebets, but they've just played a bit more of an aggressive hold and won some duels, and you'll take it.
Okay, the dream team. Slimy and Danny G. Bomb control has been given up by Housebets. And that'll force the molly to be invested just to retrieve the package. And they'll continue this way as well. Only PZ on the site. AK with the range and the one-tap potential. damyo deep towards the long area. Flash will sort PZ out, or at least make him stay sneaky here on the A ramp, yet to be seen. Wrapping around, tracking the sound and hoping that he can maybe find a pick, but he's just going to take the information and allow the rest of the troops to do the shooting. In comes a big pick onto Slimy from damyo. Now it's all up to Danny G, who's got to almost double his kills this round. He's currently on for the ace, and wrangles it back, but won't find any more.
That was a great spray transfer. If that smoke would have lasted a little longer, man, he might have actually been on there, but good effort. We'll give him that. Still keeps Housebets honest. Their money's pretty low here. Taking 2 guns through, they'll still be able to put a buy together, but some sacrifices are going to have to be made somewhere.
Yeah.
Rooster have got plenty. Okay. We've got a pause here.
I think it was a misread on who won the round. Game's still going. We'll just jump back in. Lovely little replay. CT Spawn looking better than ever. But look, we've got another few chances for Rooster to close out the festivities here. Housebets need 5 more in a row to take us into overtime.
Yeah, that's a tough ask, that's for sure. Vision up close. He's only going to end up getting himself a 1-for-1, spamming through that smoke. It's ASAP that will be the one to go down. The long control established for Rooster, so small goals achieved. Looks like they've misthrown a smoke. It's gone on the roof somewhere. Yep, there it is.
Not where you want that to be, but with the Furious smoke blocking the long pressure, it is the full contact out B instead. Rooster have read the bluff from Housebets. The gamble has not paid off, and now it's going to be a 3v4 of all things on a bloody retake. Top mid, TJ getting extra damage done, and we are all done here. Put a bloody bow on it for D2. 13-7, Rooster take map 1 of the series.
They do, and they do it in pretty stylish fashion as well. That second half was very, very solid. Housebets not looking too competitive at the moment. They were able to, string a couple of rounds together here and there, and there was some decent individual case, and that could very largely depend on how this playoffs goes. If they would win the playoffs, for example, get the Pro League spot, and I'm sure they'd like to hang on to that and have a crack. So we'll
probably
see.
Stay as a team, get the international experience going.
Yeah, conversation for another day, though. Let's talk about Nuke and see where we're going to get out of this one for Rooster and Housebets. Now, one thing I wanted to mention that we didn't talk about in the pre-show was that actually the majority of the series that we've seen from Housebets playing against Rooster this year have actually gone all the way to 3 maps. So there's a chance we go there again. Nuke is definitely in the wheelhouse for Housebets. We'll start it off with a little timeout quickly. Doesn't look like it's going to last for too long.
Yeah, just have a bit of an extra couple of seconds to chit-chat, make sure everyone's back, and it looks like they are. Free time ticking down. Julie's on the board for a couple of individuals. Smoke flash toss to Drox. All right, putting all the pieces in the right spots. Rooster, however, going to be sharing the load from 2 sets of full util, 3 bits of Kev, and no P250s, but they are going to be picking up the pace straight towards upper. Some going lower, including the bomb, and that's where they're going to be heading. Apoc Dart already here on the rafters, though. May be able to stop that B-pop from happening. They have no idea. It's 2 free ones. Lovely shot. Great tracking. And that's going to be the bomb on the ground. And another round in the back pocket for Housebets. A lovely pistol out of them.
Yeah, what a crazy couple of shots out from Apoc Dart. Was it tracking, or did he just jump into his crosshair? I almost feel like Apoc Dart didn't even have to move his mouse cursor. We'll see here. He did. Yeah, it was
I'd say it's more tracking. For Counter-Strike, I'd call that tracking.
You call that tracking?
Any other game, maybe just a bit of a shot.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like that was just a flick. But anyway, Housebets, I'm just being argumentative at this point, aren't I?
Of course,
1-0. 1-0 for Housebets. Yeah. Good start, but forced buy through from Rooster. So I dare say the pace isn't going to slow down too much here. They have got themselves a couple of smokes they can use to cross into secret if they need to, and it looks like that will be the option of choice.
I like this. PZ. Oh, I thought he was going to make his way further towards secret. He's just going for that jiggle on the line. Spray. We'll pump some damage out, but there's a lot sent back to damyo, and they're going to be chasing him down. 14 points of health with a whole hit of, belt of utility, rather. And Chell can smell a kill around the corner. But he'll slow things down towards AC, TJP. Expecting some aggression out of Annex. And Rooster calling the reroute all the way back towards the upper side. If damyo falls, this could go south quickly.
Oh, especially considering Housebets have pushed their way out into lobby, which, normally is going to be a good position to play from. But if it means that damyo's alone on A, that could be problematic. Here comes the push in. Rooster going to get that opener. That is damyo falling early on in the piece. The Tech-9's doing some work. Chell, he'll drop into the site. And the timing on that was probably not a bad shout at all, because Vision was up. And he'll catch his man anyway. One of them have. Danny G with the bomb plant. Slimy still on upper was unexpected, but he's going to have to really hightail it down to lower, because that defuse should be getting tossed through here by PZ, and he does not have a kit, but... Oh no! Slimy knew what he had to do. He's got the MP9 in hand. You just got to swing, and he'll get it done. 1 round on the board for both teams.
Shooting on the move, sometimes the best way to do it, and this time was one of those scenarios. Lovely out of Slimy, the lurk working, and then that fast rotation with the bomb planted for him. Made things that much easier. Housebets, no kit, no chance, and can't even fight against that. You can't. Lovely spray transfer from Slimy, running around like a maniac. And Rooster hitting back with the force fire. So we'll see if they're going to be able to get more damage done. Housebets themselves will be forcing right back. Couple of 5-7s in the mix, and a bit of a progression. Vision. Wait for that flash, Danny G. Oh, he reveals his position, but they're just going to swap places, and he's just going to keep on running. What do you do here? There's 3 CTs all fighting him. He'll fall eventually, but gets big info.
How well is that info being used by Rooster? They've got ASAP walking his way down secret, but the rest of Rooster, not really accelerating anywhere. Not taking advantage of the fact that there was 3 players stacked towards ramp. One for one. It's not really what Rooster's looking for.
Ooh. Unfortunate weapon to have at that range. Good damage, but won't be able to get across the finish line on any of those kills. But gets big info, and that'll allow Housebets to reposition and posture for the retake. Faster approach now from Vision, who's making noise over towards the hut side. Molly down towards the site. Is going to force the T's into the open, but the T's are hitting that much harder. And damyo looking like he will just save that Galil to the next. Only half health. And Kevlar, as well as the Deagle in the back pocket, to pass across to someone else. So there will be a chance for Housebets to maybe do some damage, but Rooster will take out the lead.
Bad
Bloody
sign.
absurd start to the round that was, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bad sign for Housebets if they lose the pistol, win the pistol, lose the next couple of rounds, already get off to a deficit on the CT side of Nuke.
Yeah.
Having also lost Dust2. It's a big uphill battle here for Housebets to try to wrangle control of the economy back first of all, but even then start to pull these rounds back and put together a pretty solid first half. So, just going to have to take their time, take it one round at a time. Won't be this one necessarily that should be causing too much trouble for Rooster. Housebets do have a saved Galil, but Damyo's going to have to be pretty snazzy with that one to get this into a winnable position.
Ooh, close range. It's where you want to be as Chell, but he doesn't hard clear the corner. Oh.
Why?
Maybe focused on something else. You know, maybe the prep work said they'd be somewhere else.
Maybe, but that's an interesting push because, you know, you think, okay, if that's what he's going to be doing, if that's how he's going to be clearing Annex, you'd be expecting the rest of Rooster to also be going fast out, hard outdoor. But they were just sitting in lobby. So I wonder if that's a bit of a miscomm. Chell expecting the team to be pushing out onto A as well. Easy in the van. Oh, was he spotted? He was. Danny G will get that job done. ASAP clearing upper as well. Still one more player to find on the site. Apoc Dud won't be able to get up to any trickery, so it seems the round won't be too big of a concern for Rooster in the end.
Yeah, inevitably, probably just the info play. He was expendable with the MAC-10. Didn't clear the corner he needed to, but he did get the info that they were just on pistols. And from there, Rooster quite confident just to walk out together, trade out the round, and find themselves a pretty easy third. Into round 5, though. The defense will be that much harder. Guns on the board, utility everywhere. And maybe the first time for PZ to get that AWP cranking? No, the money suggests he won't. So rifles for everyone. Although Drox even down to the MP9 for the util. Where are Rooster going? We've got Diags. No, Normie smokes, although a molly will go down, so there should be a hole between two of them. Ooh, not quite.
Little one. If you toss a nade in there, it'll really get blown open, but not a concern for Rooster. They're not even trying to cross.
Yeah.
Put the molly into secret. Just really trying to deny info for Housebets on outer. But it hasn't drawn any kind of rotation out from Housebets. They haven't sent anyone down lower. They're not really feeling the pinch just yet.
Rotate from PZ. Back towards Heaven. Re-smoke on the door to block even further. But in comes the upper hit util, or at least half a wave of it. And with that, Housebets very interested over towards the door side. But we see the rotation back from Rooster. Picking up the speed over towards Vision. Great flash layering. HE and Molly going to be traded, forcing PZ back towards the A site. But the bomb yet to be sent towards B. Housebets already putting 2 members down, and with Damyo falling, the upper site is much more vulnerable. And Vision, he realizes that, wants to go for the fast rotation back up. Great timing on the opening from Chell. Oh, Drox with an MP9 as well. Going to be able to double down and maybe just keep the round alive. Bomb down with 10 seconds to retrieve it and plant here. Danny, put the util away again.
Yeah, again. Danny, I think he's just got to be banned from buying util, honestly. He's died at least 3 or 4 times holding util in hand or just having thrown it.
Ugh. Rough choice out of him. But yeah, Rooster not quite aware for Drox to be right up in their grills with the double door setup. And it's worked for a second. Housebets able to navigate away from too many of these T rounds from Rooster getting stacked on. But their economy as well, within that swingish position. So at any real moment here, we could see Rooster sort of run away with this if they win another round or two. And that's not what you want as a Housebets fan. Still here in the upper bracket, and they want to stay here. Diags will be thrown, and PZ tries to make his way to Heaven as fast as possible, although Apoc Dud is up there. With that smoke getting blown, 4 members of Rooster. Ooh, they are going to be able to make their way across. Incend at the top, re-break. I don't think the T's were seen, but they will fight around it just in case. And with Damyo falling, I believe he's got some extra info.
Yeah, just a bit of individual brilliance here from Chell. He's found himself 2 entries. Drox at the back vent will be cleared out, and Slimy, nice timing to creep his way out. Hunt gets A-poked out as he tries to swing and render assistance on the A-bomb side. So all signs positively for Rooster on this T side. That's another clean shot. All the guns lost for Housebets. Money in a bad spot. And Rooster are off to the races on this T side right now.
Yeah, Rooster for sure from where you'd rather be. Great mid-round call. As soon as they got that double at outside, they knew that they were both upper players. They've just decided, you know what? Fast rotate in through main and we'll clear everything out on that transition. And it worked out so damn well, too damn well. Rooster, flawless one out of them. Outside smoke's going to be thrown to kick off round 7. Just the deep red wall. And they've even cheated the timing too. ASAP so far down already. And the CTs will not answer with a rotate of their own. They've got, oh, I love that though. The wall, the totem pole, up towards the top. But no one is going to be walking into the solid crossfire.
Yeah, this is a pretty straightforward round for Rooster. Just walking their way down into B.
The theory of where Housebets are holding, though, is generally
like
good. You know, back in the day, a good anti-eco strat would just be to full wrap yard, play the range game. And if you walked into 5 individuals all stacked like that, that'd hurt. That'd be annoying as hell. But Rooster said, you know what, we're going secret. It's a higher risk route to go, but works out without any pistols down there. And now over towards ramp, we're having a little bit of fun. Deagle gets the job done onto Chell. AK getting tossed away, and ASAP making sure there is going to be no free upgrades for the CTs, and maybe no health remaining either. Dancing around well with a bit of help from further away. TJ going to be catching that one. Deagle looking for more damage. Slimy finds it eventually. It's messy, but it gets the job done. That'll be 5 on the board for Rooster.
Yeah, working quite nicely. I don't think they're working hard, to be honest, Rooster. I think they're working nicely.
Yeah, working hard or hardly working, eh?
Hardly working, really. Just kind of going for a little stroll through Nuke most of the time. Haven't had to pull out all the stops. Getting a lot of nice entries. That really helps out to make things look easy and clean. Yeah. You know, when you're finding an entry or 2 in any given round just based on a pure aim duel. It's like, all right, well, just take this round for free then, pretty much.
Where's this set going? Is that going to be on top of hut? All right, Molly's landing. One's actually gone onto T roof, so don't learn that line up. Another at Mustang, which is probably Chell's one, but the CT's ready and in great position to dodge all of that utility. The hut molly would have been huge in hindsight, but I believe that was the one that was missed. So Rooster, they've plummeted to the depth of pretty much no utility in this round. A couple of bangers, but that can only get you so far. And it looks like Rooster are just going to go for a contact play. Chell lurking. Oh, PZ. He just has not seen those hands coming around the corner.
TJP.
Flash as well. Okay. Not bad.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, but this is a nice timing from Chell until it's not. Drops this at back vent. And charging his way into Squeaky as well. Gets another kill. That gets Housebets right back in the saddle.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Well navigated around. There were moments that did go fleeting for Rooster, but Housebets, of course, wanting to keep this as clean as possible from here on out, or that second half could be incredibly difficult. Rooster with extra cash to buy here and then the next round as well. And Housebets, you can't say the same, but they will have the AWP for PZ this time, which may not see too much action. Triple outside setup for Housebets. And Rooster playing a little bit slower towards this location.
TJP hoping damyo is going to overstep behind red, but this is a big outer setup from Housebets. APOC dud at the Whirlybird. It's not really a Whirlybird, is it? But
oh,
ace up gets the kill on the damyo that he was looking for. Oh, straight back through the smoke though. APOC dud with a clean spam. And so all the hard work that Rooster have done there is for naught.
I like that. Flash drop lineup. Send the couple for Shell or Slimy or someone to plummet a bunch of utility on an APOP. So we may end up back here later after the weird contact we had earlier towards outside PZ close range, but also with a helping hand just towards the corner. Oh, Danny's heard that molly start to tick, but APOC, he does the trick, holding on to Hut for the moment and will be able to push himself forward. Wrap slowly but surely coming through from Slimy. Nice line, but he looks away at the wrong time. APOC dud.
Awkward timing indeed. 4 on the board now for Housebets. Excellent round though, it has to be said, from APOC dud. First that spam through the smoke and then getting the double kill. Okay, the first kill out of Hut, you know, maybe you're not expecting the guy there, but to get the second kill onto TJP as he tries to swing for the trade, that's real nice.
Yeah, some weird timings coming out that round. Okay, no change in pace just yet, but we'll feign the aggression. It's progression utility outside of door, and now is when Slimy decides to make the move. Goes through dry, will find one, but Drox is not too far away to trade. With that pressure towards the A site, damyo still waiting and expecting someone to maybe lurk their way towards main, but it's down secret. But they're going to go instead. And the flow's looking pretty good for Rooster now. It just depends on how far they can get. Damage done to PZ in the meanwhile. But off the back of that, yeah, there is numbers down here for Rooster, and Housebets have not answered yet.
Oh, ace up, leading that charge. It's a good start for Rooster to the 4-on-4. Flash in there from Vision to try to get some space, but all it does is incentivize ASAP to have a little bit of a look at what's going on there at Megaton, and so Housebets are pretty much out of this round straight away. I mean, Vision was the only one that was kind of down towards B. Everyone else was almost maybe even still on their way. It's just an instant save call from Housebets. So a 6th for Rooster will be secured. This T side is looking solid again. And you're starting to get worried now. Housebets at the point where they just don't quite have enough rounds on this CT side to be feeling like they've done enough.
What an angle.
Terrorists win.
I like that one out of damyo. Punish any aggression from hunting CTs on T roof. But alas, won't find any value this round. All 3 rifles saved, which means Housebets, again, with the round loss bonus, are going to be able to buy up once more. But Rooster now on 6 on the T side. That's where things get incredibly high pressure for that second half. Maybe a faster approach. Top hut molly lined up, but one towards the door for the CTs. Actually, it might have been T-molly. We'll slow things down for the moment, and in comes the pop, in comes the bangers, and in comes the shots from the CTs. Going to the secondary, works for a moment, but not quite enough. damyo finds one of the Danny G, and the trades are even, but no one can see a damn thing, and PZ with an AWP is in a rough position. No, spots the balaclava, but the flick no good.
Yeah, onto Vision to try to clutch out. He's going to be re-smoked. TJP will get the kill just as the smoke blooms, and 7 on the board now for Rooster. staring down the barrel of an 8th because money is broken for Housebets. They will force buy into this round, but the best they're going to get is a bunch of MP9s. It's wishful thinking for Housebets to secure a 5th. I guess we're getting the answer to some of those questions about, what's the form looking like for Rooster coming into ESL Challenger League playoffs. It's looking solid enough.
Yeah, let's see what's on offer for the final round of the half. CT's looking to play as aggressive as possible, just with the MP9s. And Rooster slowing things down. Expecting some kind of aggression from Housebets on the low buy. Flash forward vision. Oh, you want to win that fight, but it's going to be Danny Jeek to find him. He was blind, but he will be found. And damyo goes down with a nice trade from Slimy. Great little pivot position from all the Rooster members. Able to watch each other's back. And just like that, it looks like the CTs are going to try to regroup over towards main side, but Apoc Dud has been caught at CT vent multiple times now. So they may just look this way anyway. Oh, they look away at the worst possible moment. And it's going to be Apoc Dud to try to clutch with 37 points of health in a 1v3. Oh, I don't know about this one.
I don't think this one's happening at all, Mac. Maybe you don't know, but I've seen a few games of Counter-Strike before, and this is a very, very hard round for Apoc Dud. And it's not going to happen. 8-4 the score. Rooster are dominating Housebets. Staring down the barrel of defeat right now is Housebets, as they are only able to get themselves 4 on the CT side of Nuke. Very much the expectation that Rooster were going to come into this map and look pretty solid. It's their map pick. They did well on Dust2. They're doing well here to try to close this series out 2-0 and put Housebets down into the Viper's nest of the lower bracket.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. So overall, it is even in opening duels for both sides, right? But it hasn't really looked that way in terms of the scoreline at the top. And at least this time, Housebet's going to be able to pick up the pace down towards Hell. Slimy making a bit of extra noise here towards Heaven. So Housebets may be aware of this location, and they're going to be homing in on it, sniffing him out over towards Sally.
It's a tough spot to double down from, isn't it? And TJP going to be spotted out in Annex as well. I think this round is pretty much over unless Slimy pulled off a miracle. It was too much to ask, and that'll leave Danny G solo. At least he doesn't have any util in this round.
And Housebets just looking to fully lock it in. Waiting for Apoc Dud to take contact at main, but Danny G's going for the full rotation and maybe just getting some exits. Also has that Kev, which he could save, you know, if they're going to force in the next. That can certainly go a long way when you're untouched. But with what we see on our screens and where we know he's going, it is just going to be maybe a bit of extra damage he's looking for. Damyo coming this direction. Oh, there you go. And, okay, the free upgrade may still be achievable depending on the distance he can create. Oh, he takes damage. He took a shot. Unlucky, mate.
You're going to go down to the bomb anyway. Do you force play here, though, as Rooster? You take one single save and you get yourself a decent gun round already.
Danny's hedging his bets with that one.
Yeah.
5-7 to complement the Kev. He can maybe get some damage done. Everyone else thinking, you know what, we'll just save, except for Slimy. I think, you know, it's not too bad. You're going to get a decent amount of utility in the next, and depending on where you're playing, maybe you can just afford yourself a FAMAS or an MP9. Anyway, Slimy, a bit too big for his boots on that one, and a faster A-pop with the pick. Housebets happy just to run into what is looking like will be a fast rotate into the stack. And Danny G. What's his master plan here? Save the Kev again.
Save again, probably.
Honestly, not a bad shout if he can live. But there is
Don't know if he's going to.
couple of Mac 10s that are hungry for the kill reward.
COD zombies, but the zombies shoot back. So nothing you can do there. But yeah, look, they take the save, Rooster. Fair enough. Lose a couple of rounds at the start of the half, but gonna look to lock in here. They won't have a huge amount of util across the board.
Yeah. But they'll have something. And it is red hot hands. Great catch on those HEs towards Heaven. Bit of utility damage is always good to see. And Housebets are 2 rounds away from tying things up here on Nuke. Difference is Rooster will now be harder to take down with the buy that they brought in. Break on the smoke, but nothing seen over towards that door side for Rooster. But no info is also good info sometimes. Oh, that's getting broken. See you later, Danny G. Mr. G. There's the door. Okay, lower hit. Chell down here with probably the worst weapon of all remaining here for Rooster. And if he can't get a pick at any point or at least control the halls, then I don't know if this is going to work out. But they're looking for door control here, Housebets. Nice deep molly. Flush that one out and cover as well for the plant for it. PZ cancels though. I think you heard that door open at Decon. ASAP winning his fight makes things awkward. Chell falling after finding one. And just like that, the man advantage swings back in Rooster's favor. But where do PZ and Drox go? Bomb yet to be planted. They had full site control, but things just got so awkward so fast, and TJP's shadow's going to be seen here.
Ooh. Drox falling as he tries to go up the vent. PZ still on the wrapping behind TJP, who's now watching the line and will get it done. Rooster with a 9th. a stable enough round as well from them with 3 guns surviving. They can start to look to build this CT half, and they don't really have to do a whole lot of building, frankly. Almost there already.
PZ must have planted, you know, not safe for Decon, because as soon as that opened, he got off the plant. But if that one was planted, it forces the CTs to run at them. And then, of course, towards the end, it just got awkward. You know, Drox and PZ on different pages, one going up the vent on his own, untradeable, leaving PZ in an odd position, an odd fight, which could have easily been traded if there was 2 players down there. Either way, tactical timeout has bled through. Housebets having another quick chit-chat before Rooster run off with the lead any further. And, of course, you know, this is going to be one of those swing rounds as well. Bomb plant was not successful, but there was a bit of extra cash after some clean ones coming into the second half. But this is their last real shot. Rooster with everything they needed more. Plenty of util. Door broken. Housebets, though, going faster with the red wall.
Oh, they haven't crossed just yet, so a nade into that smoke could cause a bit of a ruckus. ASAP wisely actually backing up into Annex. The timing on that was perfect. He's only able to get himself one before he falls, though, and now it's on to TJP. The off-angle bomb is going to be spotted and dropped, and we're back onto the 3-on-3 now with Danny G down on lowers, so maybe not going to be hugely influential in this round at this stage. Bomb is retrievable for Housebets, I would say. That smoke's gone a little bit too deep to disrupt vision at all, but Slimy's been able to cross back into the safety of the site. And Vision making a little bit of noise. A lot of this comes down to just timings and TJP. He's heard those steps. He's watching the smoke. Vision will drop.
I didn't hate it until I hated it. The double back drive through the smoke after making noise outdoor. That is where I get a little confused. But alas, Housebets now a man down, and this time they are going to try to group up. Spacing not the greatest right now, but we'll only have 1 man to get past up at clock, and that is Danny G. And you know what he's got? It's a big heart, and hopefully a big hold on the B side.
Yeah, in a good position. You know, you can get one and just sort of play around the safety of the silo as necessary. PZ quite low. Should be dropping here. Elbow spotted. Danny G looking for both. Gonna get both as well. 10-6 is the scoreline, and Housebets, yeah, are in dire straits now. 2.7k is the most that they've got on anybody. That's on Drox. You're down 10-6, and there ain't any coming back into this, surely.
Yeah, initial big damage coming through from ASAP there in main. Even though it was a 1-for-1 trade, it was good information. And TJ as well, watching that smoke towards the door side, just ready for any sneaky, weird plays that Housebets were throwing at him. And he'll be able to shut that one down. As well as Danny G, look, finding 2 from that position. But more of a hullabaloo this round. APOC does straight down the vent. A faster approach, and unfortunately, not a good one. Bomb's going to be down on the B site with the CT's eyes on, and multiple members already rotating into this position. TJ going to be joining the fray. And Chelios, ooh, very happy to take all these fights at outside. Deagle may be able to isolate some fights and do some damage, but crosshair placement from Slimy was just too good. And Vision has a Glock, so yeah, that ain't working out this time. 11 on the board. Rooster, 2 more to finish this series 2-0.
Easy does it, really. At least in that round. It does get a bit more difficult here with Housebets once again reinvesting. Drox has been, I guess, one of the positive points of Housebets on this map, but nobody else really contributing in the way that they need to. ASAP's been quite good this series. It was 24-10 after the first map, now 16-11, so putting in the numbers. And once again, putting himself in the position to make a difference. He's set up on outer. Doesn't have a whole lot of backup now that Smoke is cutting off some of the sightlines, but he's still able to win his duel and then get a lot of damage onto Drox as well. Chell, you'd think, could have got that kill onto Drox, but will lose his head. So we actually have a numbers advantage for Housebets somehow.
Good timing on the block. Slimy will happily reposition. At least go for a bit of a rotation around. Looks like it is going to be the reboost up to Mustang for the CTs. In the meanwhile, Housebets with the red wall going to be making their way straight into Secret. Only vision to lurk. And look, they've got the strength in terms of the numbers. Already putting themselves in a hugely winnable position. And Rooster gambling on the upper side of things. It should be free towards B to at least get the bomb plant down. But what about the round? That's the question. There's money for Rooster to go for this one and sacrifice a gun or two. Rooster locked in on their CT setup. And unfortunately, this time it was the wrong call. But I'd say that's fortunate more so for Housebets.
Yeah. That's all well and good. Rooster have got time as well. They can afford to just let this round go by the wayside.
Yeah.
Keep the economy healthy.
Play the long game.
That's right. TJP.
Have you seen that movie, by the way?
The long what? The long game? Is that
The long game, yeah.
No, I've never even heard of it. Let me look it up.
I hadn't either. I was just like, yeah, I'll give it a crack on one of me very long flight legs.
It's about golf?
Yeah, it's about golf.
Yeah, probably not necessarily my cup of tea, I would suggest.
You might like it. Not big into the sports movies?
Honestly, not usually, no.
Okay. What about Coach Carter? Do you like that one?
Coach Carter, what's that?
Oh, you haven't seen that?
No.
Oh, Jordan.
No.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Jordan.
Great movie.
No. Yeah, I don't really partake in the sports movies all that often, but...
What about Forrest Gump? All right, there's a bit of sports in that.
I have seen Forrest Gump, yeah. But that's not a sports movie. That's more of a war movie, isn't it?
A bit of war, bit of sport. Look, he's a ping pong guy. He's also a bloody... He doesn't make the NFL. I think he makes like college football.
Well, we've got a fast round here, Mac, and
there's a lot of running.
Apop Dud has just shot his teammate in the back of the head. They're going to get a bomb plant down, Housebets. It is 3-on-5, though, which doesn't fill you with a whole lot of confidence. This is going to have to be a bang-up post-plant hold from Housebets. Be a progression smoke to block off the door position.
Yeah.
And the rest of Rooster still just looking to filter through, though, waiting for that smoke to fade in upper. Danny G's going to go through it. There's a decent hold. Chell gets himself a trade, but Apop Dud, last man standing. They know his position. They're going to molly him off. Defuse on here for Chell. He's going to hold the defuse and trust in the defense from Slimy. And that proves to be well placed. 12-7 the scoreline. And Housebets one round away from being knocked into the lower bracket. And they don't have a lot to play with in this round.
They do say that Counter-Strike is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And this time we got a faster one. Crazy. Crazy scenes. Let's see if we get another one similar. Housebets economy slightly all over the place. Apop Dud just down to the Galil. And there won't be the greatest amount of utility brought in, all things considered. Slimy, that's a molly and a half. He's just going to sneak in front of it and maybe just push all the way to lobby with no tees to receive him. They've all gone outside with the red wall again and looking to make it down.
He has made it down, at least damyo has. The rest of them might be finding it a little bit more difficult. Smokes will be fading shortly. They do still have a couple, but they're not really going to want to invest them to try and make this cross. They won't have anything left at that point. Here's the util getting dumped. ASAP just going to let them go. He's going to be hearing all of those footsteps. They do already have TJP down in lower, but no one there to join him. And he's absolutely picked up in the warehouse. So now TJP falling is a real spanner in the works.
Oh, Chell, the leg won't be enough to incentivize Rooster back into the round, and the save will be on the cards. Look, a save here would actually be huge. You want at least one of these weapons carried across to the next. Who would be nicer, of course, especially if the AWP is involved in said save. But if you look at the economy, if Housebets can find both these guns, both these weapons, then maybe there's a world. But you have to also think about your own economy in this situation. Drox hitting the ground makes things already a little bit awkward. You could have had 5 alive there as Housebets, and that is huge if you want to formulate a comeback. Shell on the offline, couple of bangers, smoke as well, just to deny vision. Shell gets one more pick off here. Oh, good flash. Nice and deep. Util comes through, and Housebets, they are thinking about going for this one. Slimy across the top, gets the free haircut, and Chell on the offline will do incredibly well to hold onto the big green. And that allows a full buy to maybe come through here, although with the round loss bonus not really existing, I will retract that statement.
Yeah, attack timeout actually here from Housebets is an interestingly timed one because it is going to give Rooster a bit of a opportunity to discuss where they want to be going with this. I mean, there's a chance for a buy. Slimy can probably buy himself. Chell can drop one over for Danny. ASAP and TJ could try to put together a little bit. Or they could just take the full save. I mean, Danny's not going to have a great buy next round anyway, but the rest should be okay. Match pause. This is a tech pause. Must be a tech pause at this stage. Which is pretty unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
I swear this kind of thing happens a lot where you get to like 12 and it's like, we really only need like another 5 minutes to finish this game off, most likely.
Or someone just, maybe accidentally slams something or, breaks something from the round maybe not going as expected. You never know in these situations, all right?
Yeah.
Especially with TJP's there. He's broken headsets. He's broken everything. He's bloody put his fist through monitors. Maybe not that one, but wouldn't put it past him.
Yep.
But we are live, and if it was a monitor swap, that is a new record. 12-8, Housebets hunting to keep the game alive and looking for OT. Rooster want just one. And, they've hedged their bets. ASAP going to be tossed an M4. We'll buy Kevlar around it and some utility. But with these two weapons, there is still a shot for Rooster to close here.
Yeah, very real possibility for sure. Where's ASAP? He's on outer with that M4. And Chell toward ramp. So the extremities of the map have been bolstered by the weaponry. Chell's going to try and get active here, and he's doomed. There's no way you're getting out after having missed that shot. Even if he hits that shot, probably he's dead. So you'd think that's probably the round done and dusted for Rooster, with Housebets being able to get down into B here for free. Damyo also doing a bit of a number on the A defense. Very nice kill onto ASAP as well. So Housebets are likely to survive another.
Yeah. And I think there's enough there for Slimy to maybe drop an AWP across if they don't go and get their mitts back on it. But you can see PZ happily doggy guarding the AWP over towards elbow, or ramp rather. Many members invested even. But they know Rooster are realizing that they should probably save in this situation. Good molly as well to carry across for Slimy if he lives towards the back of warehouse. I don't know if he will, because bomb's going to be planted underneath clock, and Slimy's got to get a move on. Housebets, no one here to stop him, so he'll be A-OK. And that'll be 9. Housebets 1 away from the double digits, 3 away from OT. But how many away from a dub? That's the big question.
Yeah, definitely getting it closer than it might have felt it should go. But still not at the point where it's feeling too dangerous just yet for Rooster. They're going to have a chance at another couple of buys here. Maybe you lose this round. You've still got another round where you can just sort of take a half buy eco and build money up for the 12-11.
Yeah.
I mean, 2.4k loss bonus is not a huge amount. So it may come down to how many guns do get saved through for Rooster if it ends up being a round win here for Housebets. But of course, in the minds of Rooster, they'd prefer that not to even be a consideration just yet.
Yeah, they don't want that in the conversation. But it's not up to them. Well, partially is. Depends on how you look at it. Definitely see those red smokes thrown. And this time, damyo, who's already tagged up, disrespecting the Molotov, going loud all the way down. Sap should have heard that one. But no one dropping. So we'll see if damyo can find some space and call the boys down as they are looking to fight this 4v1 towards ramp, make it 4v2 as Chell rotates in.
Oh, Danny G and Chell can be caught in transition here. Danny, not required. No, nades out again. We don't want to be seeing that. Chell will lose his life as well. Just a miscomm. I think both players pulling out a nade. And Housebets capitalizing on that opportunity. Straight down into lower. And Rooster, you'd think, will call the save immediately.
Rough situation there for both parties. Looked like Chell was trying to not line up with Danny, or at least swing to trade him, but then they were sort of lining up. Chell didn't want to shoot into the back of his teammate. Things got real awkward real quick. And that's like 2 or 3 rounds now where the timing of ramp aggression has not quite gone as Rooster has intended, you know, or at least envisioned. Like that, what we saw from Chell the other round with the aggression with the AWP. Hold that thought. Ooh, nice little play down. Bit of financial damage, but that's 1 rifle lost.
Yeah, almost good for one more there, ASAP, but I think it's okay. I mean, you can take a save here if you're Rooster, so it's...
Yeah, but you could have bought, you know?
Could have, yeah.
Unlucky out of Sap there.
Yeah. They're going to get half buy through, maybe. Just a little bit of pistol armor. Stay just around 2k. And then with 2.9k loss bonus, you've got a chance at another round. But look, this is getting into that territory where this is actually very doable for Housebets. All of these gun rounds, quote-unquote gun rounds for Rooster, are actually not great gun rounds. You know, you're getting these sort of half mixed buys, and it's really diminishing the chances of Rooster actually closing this one out without letting it go to OT.
2 more chances. I honestly thought that they were going to take the save, but I guess with what they've got in the back pocket and the round loss bonus now up to 2,900, yeah, they'll be right for the next bite. And Housebets will change up again. We'll be throwing the red wall. It's an oldie, but a goodie. And there really isn't any HEs to break it. damyo copying barely any damage on the cross. And there will be a few more members to follow, maybe. Slimy getting ambitious with that push towards the lobby, just kind of wait for Danny G to poke his head in. With that kind of information, they know it's probably somewhere else they have to worry about, and that may just be at outside. Drox clearing out yard.
Yeah, nice and quick through the map at the moment. Housebets, Rooster have a lot to be worried about. Chell solo holding lower right now with an MP9. I'd be amazed if he could get more than one. Even getting one here feels pretty difficult. Yeah, a couple of kills quickly go through for Housebets, and that'll probably, again, be the round. TJ and Slimy will hope to hold on to these rifles, because that will really bolster the fly next round. If Danny could even pick himself one up, then you might get quite a solid buy, actually, from Rooster next round. Where's that gun?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got it. He's fine.
Yeah.
And he's out of there. Housebets now making sure round 11 is full locked in. 10 more seconds before that'll happen, and they will leave the vicinity and stay respectful to Rooster. I thought they were going to not go for the hunt, but Apoc Dud now clearing out warehouse. He's going to give it a red-hot crack with a few more seconds. No util to send him forward, but they'll go dry. A kill on any of these rifles would be huge. Oh, and they ain't going to find it. So Housebet's going to be doing this the hardest way possible, into 2 AKs on the defense and a chance for an AWP to be tossed across. That's happened. Danny G on the drop patrol, it seems. You know, throw him a couple of bangers, boys. Let him buy some util. That being said, we are live with the last round of regulation. Looked like it was going to be an easy one for Rooster in this half, but they've kind of kicked the bucket, and Housebets have fired the hell up.
Yeah, but this will also be the best buy that Rooster have had for probably the last 4 or 5 rounds. So it'll be also the most difficult one to get through for Housebets. All the last few can be considered training rounds. This is the real deal. This is the one that Housebets have been preparing for. And it hasn't started with the early kill that they had been getting in the last couple of rounds as well. So they are going to be made to work for it. TJP's already rotated down lower.
Lovely.
There's the AWP, which Rooster haven't really had the luxury of in at least the last 2. It's already started off nicely for Chell. Danny G on the off angle, waiting for vision. Gonna get that fight as well, and it's all coming apart for Housebets right at the 11th hour. They worked so hard to get it to 12-11, but it seems this may be a cursed scoreline for Housebets as 13-11 is looming.
Oh, door! Bomb gets planted. PZ in a power position. Will just run forward. And Chell hits him with the no-scope. Oh, of all things, you saw a world where maybe it was possible. But as you mentioned, Rooster finally got their best buy on the board in ages, and it was enough to slock in 13, and 2-0 will be the scoreline. Rooster playing one game will go straight to the grand finals here of ESL Challenger League Season 49.